Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and for your time and your attention. I'd like to introduce us. We are the Sun Concrete Division for the Phoenix office. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jeff. I'm the project manager, and I'd like to introduce my team that'll be helping me work on the project. We have Mila, who's our safety director, Kamian, our quality controls director. We have Joe, our estimator, Alex, who's our pre-construction, and Keela, who's our superintendent. That is a team that we put together for this project, and I'd like to introduce the project to you guys. What we have is we have a warehouse over on 59th and Lower Buckeye Avenue. It's a 140,000 square foot warehouse, tilt-up job. We'd like to propose to do the foundation, the slab on grade, the panels, and the erection of the panels. Being the primary core value here at Sun safety, I'd like to start the presentation off with that.
Hello, I'm Mila. Here at I'll have the clicker, so I'll be able to do it better. Okay. Here at Sun, safety is our number one concern. Here at Sun, safety is our number one concern. If you look at the 2013 rates, there were 21 crane fatalities in 2013 and 796 total falls in 2013. By using our in-house safety program, we will mitigate these risks, and we are focusing on the why of safety at Sun. Here's our approach to safety. Crew members will be assigned specific tasks for handling braces and hardware attachments. No one will be walking under panels. The crane operator will look towards the rigging foreman, who will know all of our crane signals. The crane operator will be tested to make sure he or she knows proper procedures.
Hi there, everyone. My name is Kamian Gordon. I was the quality control manager on this job, and I just wanted to talk about four main points that I focused on during this project: panel preparation, footing prep, panel erection sequence, and the brace removal. So as far as the panel preparation is concerned, we want to make sure that we remove the formwork quickly, and we want to make sure that we clean everything, we take off the bracing properly. This is essential to a well-done tilt-up job. Additionally, we like to make sure we attach our braces properly through accordance to AFPM standards and other testing standards. Lastly, we want to make sure before we actually do the tilt, we want to test each brace and make sure it's properly attached so that there will not be any accidents during the actual tilt-up job. Moving on to footing preparation, we want to make sure that our grout cures for a long enough time so that there won't be any breaking, cracking, etc. It's a safety risk, as Milo would probably agree. But additionally, we don't want the actual panel to fall, break, and that costs money as well as time. We want to make sure that the lifting loads will be accounted for. We want to test this before to make sure that everything runs smoothly and properly, because time is key, as you all already know. And we want to make sure that the cable lengths and the rigging is all done properly and tested before this as well. Moving on to the panel erection sequence, we want to make sure that it's done in a continuous operation. This is key to success in our operation and key to a well-done job. Additionally, we'd like to make sure that these rigs are properly inspected as well. It's a safety issue, but more so quality. We want to make sure that everything flows correctly and the job is done well. Lastly, we want to make sure that our brace removal is done properly. The panel braces must be removed carefully and fully, and we want to make sure that we can only remove the braces once the building is stabilized, everything is flush and plumb. Now, moving on, I'd like to introduce Joe for our estimate.
Hello, I am Joe Burrell. I am the lead estimator. And this is, go back. For this particular project, we have estimated that it will cost $1.46 million. So where does that cost come from? There's a few major things that contribute to the cost. For our excavation, we were excavating 6,000 cubic yards of dirt for the footing and the slab on grade, and for the total mud that we are placing is 4,200 cubic yards, with the biggest hill panel being 24 by 40, and the total number of panels at 88. So that those things are the major cost contributors. And what does this mean? Total cost breakdown for us. It means that for the man hours that we're per cubic yard, it is set at about 0.77, so that keeps us moving fairly quickly, and it's going to cost us about $264 per cubic yard for the total project. And for the profit that we can keep in house is 6% of the total costs. So our total profit would be about $75,000. And so that means that we can instead of paying out that money to another subcontractor, we can keep it in house and just adding to our total profit.
And now passing it on.
Who's oh, it's Alex? Okay.
Or I think it's me.
Okay. And now we're gonna
Huh?
talk about schedule or
No.
sorry,
Equipment.
equipment. Keita's
It's
gonna-
equipment.
Okay.
Okay.
Our equipment is going to
That's
be
me.
talked about by Keila.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
We'll work on that transition. So hello, I'm Keila. I'm the superintendent for this job. The heavy equipment that we decided that we needed was the HC80 crawler crane. We decided and calculated that it could lift the biggest panel, which is 24 foot by 40 feet. So it can safely pick all the panels, since that's our heaviest. We're going to use our laser screed. Because it's a warehouse floor, it's a super flat floor. So with the laser screed, we can actually attain that accuracy and precision that we need for a warehouse floor. We're going to use the D3162 bulldozer. That's for after all of our excavation's done, so we can push it to another portion of the site. We don't actually have to take all of the soil off-site. We just have to move it so that the other sub can actually come and pick it up. That's part of our exclusions for our portion of the work. And we're going to use a 320EL excavator that's big enough to dig our 9-foot deep footings, and they're 5 foot wide around the entire perimeter. So it's big enough and fast enough that we can do it efficiently. With our formwork, it's a tilt-up building, so mainly it's all wood-built forms or dirt soil forms for the footings. The main thing that we're going to ensure is that there's no drilling other than bracing into the slab. We want to minimize any damage to the warehouse slab so that we don't have to come back and grout and patch. And the easiest way for us to do that is using adhesive strips for all of our divider forms, all of our actual side forms, and for all of our 2-inch reveal strips. Here's a picture of what we're proposing. It's very standard, it's very common for a tilt job. Just regular ply, 2x4s, and we're going to use Dayton Superior kickers, plastic kickers, and they have an adhesive that won't damage the slab. And here's another picture. We're going to use Meadowbird lifting and bracing inserts for our slab. That's what we've proven in the past has the best rate to reduce our safety hazard because they have the best anchoring into the rebar mats and into the slab. And now moving on to the logistics plan is Alex.
Thank you, Keila. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out. As we all know, we are looking for a safe, productive, and efficient site. So when preparing this plan, we took into account safety factors, our surroundings, where our materials were coming from, and we think we have figured out the best plan to have our trucks coming in and out, having our lay-down area, and having our work-down area. Any questions you have, I'll be more than happy to answer them. If not, we'll be moving on to our schedule. Starting with our pour sequence. Now, we did not want to get hung up on any aspect of the job, so we have decided, based on our craft paint, that we will start from the north and move down south. So starting from port 1 all the way to port 4, we will be moving right behind one another. And now moving back to Keela, she will explain our panel.
So the tilt layout that we did, I used Google SketchUp. It's a real quick, easy way to actually show how we're stacking the panels. I can distribute that to you guys later through email so that you guys can have it and kind of play around with the model. So red, yellow, green, blue, that's our sequencing. So red is the north end. I'm going to have to add a compass to this, I think. So the red is going to be our north end, east is yellow, and so on. So we're going to start our pour sequence at the north. Like Alex said, we're going to start at that end with our slab pouring, and then move south. And all of our panels, not all of them, but we're only going 2 panels high to reduce any problems with quality and cracking because of the weight. So that's why we have all this extra playroom on the slab, is because we're stacking them too high. And the way that we can erect is starting from the north end, since they'll have the most time to cure. We'll start erecting from the north end and work our way around. So we'll pour north to south. We'll pour both sides at the same time, pouring down, finish with the south end. And while the south end's being poured, we can pick and start erecting the north end and work our way around. And now back to Alex with some important milestones for our schedule.
Alrighty, as we all know, time is money, so let's get down to the dates. This is about a 17-week project starting on the 26th of January and ending on the 18th of May. Some important milestones we have are notice to proceed, the 26th, foundation starting the 27th, which will last about 2 weeks. That includes framework, pouring, curing. Slab on grade is also going to be about 2 weeks. And our panels is going to take us a little longer, as we have, I want to say, over 140 panels.
It's 88 pounds.
88 panels that we have, and letting them cure and gain enough strength to be lifted and put into place is going to take some time. And finally, we have our erection, which is going to be about a 1.5 week process, and leading us to our final date of May 18th. Now I'd like to pass it back to our project manager, Jeff, who's going to close out for us.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, basically after hearing this big proposal, we'd like to really hammer is the why we need to keep this project in-house and not sub it out. As you can see, we're moving at a really fast rate when we keep it in-house at 77 man-hours per cubic yard. We're able to do this because we have our people, we get to hand-pick our own crews. They know everything, they know our safety plan, they know what we expect out of our employees. They also have a stake in this job. They want to make sure that this job is done really well, so we can keep getting more jobs, more money in their pockets as well. As you can see, we're able to be so competitive because of our EMOD rate. When you're going out to other subcontractors, they're not going to have the same low EMOD rate that we do. They're going to have to pay higher premiums for their insurance. As our safety director outlined the different incident rates and the high risk for jobs associated with tilt-up construction, we will be able to pay a lot less of a premium, which is why our price is able to be so competitive, and which is why we're able to have such a high profit. Being in-house, we're also able to roll this profit into our GCs, which just means more money for the company. Another thing that's very important for a company to survive is our intellectual know-how. We want to make sure that we keep making sure that our guys get to be on the job site, our guys get to keep refining their skills and training the new generation of people who are going to be working at Sun to make it a successful company for years to come. When we have our own guys on the site, we're able to pay them lower wages than we will for subcontractors. We don't have to pay for their overhead. We don't have to pay for their insurance costs. We're able to pay our rates. What else to say? I don't think I should close it.
The biggest thing is that we can add our 6% profit to your total profit, which is on average 2 to 3% profit.
I should highlight that better. Okay. Well, yeah.
Should we put that bullet point at the end? That way.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, we can move things around, but otherwise, at that point, I would just say if you have any questions.
All right, yeah. If you
Now-
have any questions
now I'll
about the
open-
project, I'll open it up to our team.